Alright, hello guys and girls, this is XSample, and today I'm bringing to you a new kind of pumpkin farm. Yep, a pumpkin farm. Everybody needs a pumpkin farm. But I recently got asked, what do you need pumpkins for? Well, jack-o'-lanterns. Pumpkin pie. The choice is yours. Anyway, this is a budswitch design. I haven't looked too hard out there, and I have no idea if anyone's made one like this, but I've made one like this, and the reason being is I decided that it would be kind of cool to make something a little bit more futuristic instead of, you know, the same kind of normal pumpkin farm that you see all the time. So let's just gingerly move around here like this, and you can see it is the old slime block / redstone block budswitch in the middle there. And pretty much all what happens is as soon as a pumpkin grows, it gets crushed, and the hopper cart underneath will spin around and pick up that pumpkin and drop it into a chest. I don't have a chest on this one, I just didn't put it on, but at the moment they're all collecting the hoppers down there. So this has been running for a little while now, and let's get out of cinematic mode and take a look down here. And I've collected a number of pumpkins. Yeah, so without further ado, let's go and take a little look at the different layers, and we will go ahead and build one afterwards. So let's take a look. Here we go. So it's not really compact, but it's kind of compact for what it is, because we've got 4 vines, right? So we'll get there in a minute. We've got 4 vines, and I'll talk to you when we get to that layer over there about how good this actually is. All right, so we've got a bunch of blocks around the back here. So that's 6 blocks, three that way, and another 3 that way, and then we've got hoppers here. Now all these hoppers are pointing in towards this chest. We'll show you how to hook those up in a minute. So any time the cart comes around and drops an item in here, it ends up in that chest. All right. The second layer, we've got a cart and a redstone block, and a bunch of rails going around. At the moment, we only have one powered rail here, and that's it. That's all we need for this machine. Now there is a way to turn this on and off. You don't have to use a redstone block. We'll get to that as well. Okay, the next layer is the third one, and it's a little bit more complicated because you can't really see how to put this together. We'll show you in a minute how to build this whole thing, so just hold on there. So basically we've got a water source block sitting on top of that redstone block, but before you put that in there, you've got to put the dirt around the outside. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 blocks of dirt, and then you put those around there like that, drop the water in the middle, and then you've got to place these solid blocks here like that. And these solid blocks are what the well, yes, you don't have to put them there, but I've put them there for decoration. This is where your pistons are going to sit on top of, right? And then of course you farm those dirt blocks. Now on the fourth layer, it looks a little bit complicated, but it's actually not. We have got a bunch of pistons, we've got some vines growing, and a sticky piston in the middle. Now the tricky part is placing that sticky piston, but we'll show you how to do that in a minute. So the sticky piston's in the middle, right above the water source block, and then you've got these pistons facing toward the center, towards that sticky piston block, all the way around like that. That's on top of those white blocks we placed earlier, and then of course you've got your vines which have grown up there. Okay, now the fifth layer is a little bit more, well, it's not really tricky, it just looks weird. So we've got a solid block on top of that piston there, we've got a glass pane on top of that vine, and another solid block here, and another pane there on top of that vine, another solid block there, another pane on top of that vine, a solid block there, and you get the picture. And on top of that sticky piston we've got a slime block. Alright, so for the sixth layer we've got something a little bit different here. It looks a little bit different from these other machines. It's only because I've got extra glass around the outside here. So on top of that white block that we placed down before, we've got a piece of redstone dust, and a piece of redstone dust here, and here, and here. Now that is just to continue the signal down over the top of this dropper, and these are droppers. So on top of the slime block there, we've got a redstone block, and then around the outside of that I've just placed droppers facing outwards. You can place them in any direction you want. They're just there because they are an immovable block which allows you to place redstone on top of. You can use any immovable block which allows you to place redstone on. I choose droppers because they're quite inexpensive to make, really. Alright, and then on top of that we've got some redstone dust, and that effectively makes it 7 layers. Alright, so that's pretty much that, and yeah, let's go ahead and build one, and then I'm going to go and show you what that contraption is over there. Alright, so before I continue, we need to talk about the vines. I've got to talk about this before. Each vine has the potential to grow a pumpkin in 2 spots. So we have 4 vines, and this makes us quite fast. Even though these 2 vines here are attached to this one pumpkin, that vine still has the ability to grow a pumpkin next to it. Anyway, so this is what I want to talk about. So a lot of the other budswitch designs only give you the ability to grow a pumpkin in 1 spot. This one gives you the ability, well, 4 vines to grow pumpkins in 2 spots. So we're increasing our chances of getting a pumpkin, pretty much. So we're going to place down 6 blocks like that. You can use any blocks you like. I'm using this quartz because I quite like it, and you can use whatever you want. So then I'm going to place a chest over here. So looking down on top like that, you've got 6 blocks there, a chest right there, and then we're going to place our hoppers into that chest. So I'm going to hold down shift and click into the side of that, well, the back of that chest, and then I'm going to hold down shift again and click into the side of that hopper, and then hold down shift again and click on the side of that hopper. So any items now falling inside here are going to drop into this chest. Now the next layer is pretty much what's going to power the cart, and so I'm using a redstone block. Now you can just use a regular block here. You don't have to use redstone. That is fine, and you could then just place your powered rail down here like this, and of course you need to place your regular tracks all the way around like that, so we do a full circuit. And you can place a switch on the back here, so let's just do that. This is just another way of doing this. You may not want to do this, or you may want to do this because you might want to be able to turn it on and off. There we go. And then we place a hopper cart down on top, and that's pretty much it. To get it going, just give it a nudge and it'll just keep going. Alright, so let's not do that, let's just leave it there. Okay, and now we're going to do the part where we're going to plant our crops. So normally I just place a block in the middle like that and then go all the way around, and you want it to be 3 by 3 like that, and then you punch out the middle one, and that's where your water goes. Now you don't actually need water in a pumpkin and melon farm, to be honest. it's not actually necessary, but if you're a bit slow in farming your dirt and it goes back to regular dirt, then you may need to put your water in there. Anyway, it's irrelevant. You can have water or not. And then we want to have some seeds. I think for this one I might try and do melons. Let's see. Melons are fun. Alright, let's get these melons ready to grow. Just bone meal those and get them a little bit bigger. Alright, now I need to place a sticky piston on top of this water block. Now you can't really place them on top of water, so you need to have something to build up against. So I'm going to place a block there temporarily, so that I can place my sticky piston like so, and then I'm going to break that block, and there we go. So I should have something like that. Now we talked about before having something to place our pistons on, and so I'm going to go ahead and do this. Place blocks around the outside like that. Right, perfect. And then I can place some regular pistons on the side like that, facing in towards the sticky piston like that. There we go, perfect. Now we need to do the bud switch. So the bud switch basically is a slime block. So let's grab one of those and a redstone block. So the slime block goes on top of the sticky piston, and then the redstone block goes on top. Now any block which gets placed here will make an update, and that is exactly what we want. Okay, moving on. We need to now place some blocks on top of these pistons. So just a solid block, has to be a solid block, this one, a block that redstone can be put on top of. And then I have used panes of glass, which are white panes of glass. So you can use whatever coloured panes of glass you want. You can even use iron fence. And the theory behind this is that when the pumpkins get harvested by the pistons, they sometimes jump up. And because of the hitbox size on these, they tend to push back towards the center. If you get a pumpkin right on the corner here, it's not going to get picked up by the hopper cart because it's turning a corner, which is a potential problem. but we can get around that by placing blocks around the outside and this pane of glass on top. Alright, so now that's done, we need to put some droppers on. Like I said before, I'm using droppers because they're easy to make. For one, they're not super expensive, and you can place redstone on top of them, and they don't move when a sticky when a slime block passes into it, right? So if a slime block comes up, it's likely to grab onto a block like this and lift it up. But because these aren't movable, they will stay where they are. Make sense? Alright. Grab some redstone dust, and we are going to just drop it on top like this. So coming out from the redstone block on top of the dropper and then down onto that block, and that is it. This machine is now ready to go. But there's one thing I forgot to do, and I'm doing this I'm doing this too often. I'm forgetting to put torches in here. So to get torches in here, I'm gonna have to break this. How annoying. Torches, I forget all the time to place torches in this machine. It's important because at night time you want your crops to grow, right? Oh dang, I forgot to do this. Okay, light. Put it. There we go. So now we've got light in there, we've got water, we've got melons, and that's it. We should start seeing something happen soon. All we need to do is give our cat a little nudge, and the machine is active. Alright, so let's just stand here for a little bit and just watch this machine and see if we can see anything grow in here, and then we shall move on to the big machine over yonder. Alright, there we go. First melon. Let's go check it out. It didn't take very long really, but there we go. 7 little slices of melon, and there aren't any outside the machine. They've all been sucked up. Brilliant. Alright, now that it's nighttime, let's go take a look over at the fields. So I kind of felt like this kind of machine would kind of remind me of the Matrix somehow. I'm not entirely sure why it does, but it reminds me of the fields where they're growing humans to make electricity. Anyway, beside the point. So I decided to build this. This machine is a rather large, well, it's not rather large, it's large in footprint, but it uses 5 of these machines, and they're all squished in together. Now, this design is something that I would build on a server, and I'm actually going to. Now, how it works is a little bit different. So there are no blocks underneath. The cart isn't going round and round and round and round each machine. It's actually just going backwards and forwards over each, well, passing through each machine and picking up all the drops as it goes, and then goes off over to here, well, here I should say, where there is a little, well, it's a hopper detector thing where it detects whether or not there's a ton of items inside the hopper cart there, and it's not really necessary because it's really only picking up one at a time. But if we had tons and tons and tons of these, and this cart was coming back and dropping them off there, it did stop for a bit. So it stops here and offloads, and once it's offloaded, it powers this rail again and off it goes. So we saw that. Now I also have an on-off switch. The on-off switch is over here, and basically all it's doing is it's removing the block over here, which is above the redstone torch, so that it stops that from getting powered, so the cart stops. If we turn it back on again, the cart goes off. So I can turn this machine on and off if I want to. Everything's exposed so you can see what's going on. So yeah, that's pretty much it. But I actually really like this idea. It's kind of really futuristic, industrial pumpkin farm, and just saw the redstone block pop up there, and basically what that is saying is there was a pumpkin that just got grown. So let's just walk around the outside here and take a little look. I'm using redstone lamps so that it'll show me that there is something that's going on here. You can use whatever blocks you like to build this thing, but anyway, I thought this was neat. So I just want to sit here for a little bit, and while it's night time, and just watch this go off a little bit, and we should be able to see some of the lights light up and the redstone blocks fire up through the top. I just love bud pistons. I just love the way that they elegantly harvest pumpkins, if you know what I mean. Oh dear. As you can see, when the redstone block fires up, it sends that redstone signal down onto all those pistons, but at the same time it lights up the 2 lamps on each side. So when one of these farms goes off, it lights up all the lamps around it, which is kind of neat. Alright, so that is a cool machine. I like it. I like the way it looks. It's futuristic. It is a pumpkin farm. It is a bud pumpkin farm. There are 20 vines in there and it's pretty cool. In terms of output, I mean, you basically, it's 5 times that really. If you take a look at the chest here, I built this after building that farm over there, so it's been running for a lot less time than the single one over there. So we've already got 2 stacks, well, nearly 3 stacks. But over here, this one here, which is a single one, has been running for a lot longer and has got a stack and a half almost. So in terms of output, this here will be able to do 5 times the amount of that, and I think it's kind of a good idea to sort of bunch them together like this. Now, to kind of get an idea of the pattern, this is what we're looking at. So if you want to, you can pause that down or take a screenshot or whatever you like, and yeah, and make use of this. Now, I am not going to build this here in this tutorial. The tutorial is based solely on the single cell. I do actually build big machines like this in my Let's Play videos, so don't be shy, come and take a look at my other videos, because there's a lot of good content in there that you don't get to see in these tutorials. Alright, so I hope you've liked this tutorial, and yeah, go ahead and build one of these. These are fun. They're not necessarily the smallest kind of thing, but for the size, it's not too bad. I mean, you've got 4 vines. Each vine has 2 chances of growing a pumpkin or a melon, and I think that's pretty good. I think that's good odds. Alright, I'll catch you next time. Later.